the tailgate, y'all. As another farmer life skill that we wanted to do, we wanted to talk about something that everybody right now is trying to figure out. This is something that we get a lot of questions about, and something that we wanted to be able to show y'all how to do if you want to do it on your own. But of course, you can always come to us and ask us for help as well. And that is, how do you know how much fertilizer you need? It's real easy to pull a soil sample and get those results back. And you know, on one part of that soil sample result sheet, it has what your soil actually tested, and then it has a section for recommendations. And the problem is unless you know how to interpret that, that's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. So that's what we're going to go over today, is how do you interpret that and figure out how many pounds of fertilizer you actually need. So let's say your soil sample calls for 60 pounds of nitrogen, 30 pounds of phosphorus, and 60 pounds of potassium as what it needs to be added. So when we think about that in terms of our fertilize, we're probably going to use urea, which is 4600, DAP, or diammonium phosphate, which is 18460, and then muriate of potash, which is 0060. So that's all fine, well and good, but how do we know how many pounds of each of those that we need to add? Well, the math is actually pretty simple. And this is the one time where you don't start at the beginning of a math problem. So everybody always wants to know how much nitrogen do we put. We don't want to start with nitrogen here. We're actually going to start with the phosphorus, okay? So we're going to take the pounds that we need, which is 30, because that's what our soil test said, and we're going to divide it by the amount of phosphorus that is in the fertilizer that we're using, okay? So if I was using something other than DAP here, this number would be different, but we're going to make it a decimal point, and we're going to divide 30 by 0.46. That gives us 65 pounds, okay? Now in this case, you'll notice that DAP has some nitrogen in it as well. So what we're going to do there is we're going to take the 65 pounds of DAP that we're already putting out to meet our phosphorus requirement, and we're going to multiply that times 0.18, because that's how much nitrogen is being applied as a result of that diammonium phosphate. That gives us about 12 pounds of nitrogen, okay? Now we're going to go back over and figure our nitrogen. So we need 60 pounds of nitrogen. Subtract from it 12, because we're already getting 12 pounds from the diammonium phosphate. So we actually need to add an additional 48 pounds of nitrogen. So we do the same thing, 48 divided by 0.46, because urea is 46% nitrogen. And that gives us 105 pounds of urea that we need to add. We'll figure the potash. It's very simple, same thing. Our soil test calls for 60 pounds, divide it by 0.60, because of what muriate of potash is, it gives us 100 pounds. So, for quick simpleness, we need 105 pounds of urea, 65 pounds of DAP, and 100 pounds of potash. But that's per acre. Make sure you recognize that that is per acre. So, total, you need to be putting out 270 pounds of this mixed fertilizer per acre. And if your field is more than 1 acre, then you're just going to multiply that 105, that 65, and that 100 by the number of acres. So example, if you're going to fertilize 20 acres, you multiply each of those, or even the 270 times 20, it gives us 5,400 pounds of fertilizer that we would need to purchase in this mixed format. Thanks for stopping by the tailgate for this life skill. I hope it helps.